on the reunion of season 2 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, it was announced that both Jen and Whitney would be contestants on Dancing with the Stars.
I don't believe it. I hope you know you're going down. Just kidding.
And when the 2025 Dancing with the Stars season aired, we witnessed both women hit the dance floor. Jen seemed to immediately be at a big disadvantage at only 8 weeks postpartum. 8 weeks. Mentally, physically, this seemed like an uphill battle for her. Each week she got out there and she seemed to really enjoy dancing, but on week 7, Jen was eliminated. Whitney, on the other hand, seemed to really be in her element. She showed the world that she had true talent for dancing. And each week I started to think maybe she was going to make it all the way to the end. Maybe even possibly win. But as the weeks went by, the premiere of season 3 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was set for November 13th, and that date was inching closer. And I had to wonder, Whitney was the villain of season 1 of the show, and the trailers of season 3 did not paint her in a very positive light. Would this mean that the new season premiering would put her Dancing with the Stars voting in jeopardy? The answer was unclear, but whether it was a coincidence or not, just days after The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 3 premiere, Whitney was eliminated during the Dancing with the Stars semifinals. Fans were shocked, and her reaction was disappointment. Most watching, me included, really expected her to at least get to those finals. But on the other side of that, reactions to Whitney being on Dancing with the Stars were hot and cold. Some people found it encouraging that she was able to get out there and live her dream, all with her husband's full support, especially in a Mormon culture where it did not seem to be the norm. Some people still think of her as the villain of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and their dislike of her carried into Dancing with the Stars voting. So that's what I want to talk about in this video, because in episodes 5 and 6 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, we see Whitney for the first time on season 3. And I want to dive into the idea of if her role influenced her Dancing with the Stars votes or not. Because while some people might think of her as fun to watch this season, others don't like her. So let's dive into season 3, episode 5, Whitney's first appearance back on the Mormon Wives show. And after watching this, at the end of the video, you can decide yourself if you think that her role on this season helped or hindered her Dancing with the Stars position.
Awesome!
Okay, I have my Whitney headband on. Actually, it's just a regular headband. I don't have one of those like bubble ones that you use to put makeup on. Also, are you supposed to wear those in public? How this works is I'm going to watch one episode at a time. So as I'm recording this, I have only seen episode 5. That way I can't unintentionally spoil anything for episode 6. It's like we're watching it all together. The previous episodes are linked in the description below if you have not seen them, including my long video that covers both seasons 1 and 2 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And if you came from those videos, I think at this point, we're becoming best friends. Episode 5 is called The Book of Resurrection. Fitting title since we know that we will finally see Whitney in this episode. So the episode starts out with Momtok meeting up to fill in Jessie on that barbecue that was at her house. You know, the one she wasn't invited to.
It honestly felt like a church meeting. He's like, thank you guys for coming.
While Macy was explaining this, I couldn't help but roll my eyes that Taylor looked annoyed.
Something I learned in therapy is we should use some logic and not just emotion, right?
I love that 2-week therapy is now her entire personality. Girl, get off your high horse. You're messy. Jessie even thinks that Taylor is defending Jordan because he's trying to save their relationship, and Taylor wishes that Dakota would do that too.
Even if Jordan's trying, he has been emotionally abusive, and it sometimes feels like she just forgets about that.
I feel like Jessie is over Jordan at this point and just wants to run off into the sunset with Marciano. But in this episode, we do finally get a break from the Jessie drama, because a familiar face is returning. And the reason for her return actually makes a lot of sense. While we see Momtok at a petting zoo, Taylor has some news.
Dancing with the Stars wants to choose one of us to go on. No way!
It's obvious that Jen is very interested. Layla is too, and this is where we first hear about Whitney again. Miranda has invited her to her birthday party. Things have been tense because both Miranda and Jen feel like Whitney ghosted them after she left Momtok.
I never heard from her, and then she became best friends with Demi.
I was actually very surprised though to see that Whitney was really good friends with Demi now, supposedly. Because we'd seen them not get along. Demi yell at Whitney, Whitney cry in a closet. But I was even more surprised to hear that they were friends after I saw her talking on this podcast. She talks about the scene in Park City where Demi talks about them doing ketamine together. During this session, they talk about the RSV video that Whitney is well known for.
That moment she admitted to me that video that she posted was for sympathy, likes, clout, and for recognition and to gain her following.
But she apparently didn't know yet that Demi had shared that story. She found out afterwards.
What had set me probably in the darkest place that I had no idea she had shared until that evening.
She found out between crying in the closet and that scene where she had toilet paper on her foot. So the dinner where she kept crying and couldn't keep it together, that was when she had found out that Demi had told Momtok about that ketamine journey.
I couldn't compose myself because right before that, Macy had asked me if it was true.
But she was most upset that Demi had told that story on national television. That's why at the table she couldn't stop crying.
But after that, it just put me in a really dark place.
And I could see how that situation made her distance herself from Momtok and Demi, but more so Demi. She then says on the podcast that they pretty much made up afterwards, and Demi was also going through a hard time. But Demi is the one person who has actually done something to her that was very, very mean. So her choice to be friends with Demi and no one else is strange to me. In the next scene, Michaela opens up to Macy about struggles in her marriage. She says that her husband Jace is not happy with their sex life. We know that Michaela has been going to therapy. She was SA'd as a child. This woman also had a baby and got married at 16, and her husband was 20, and she's currently pregnant now with her 4th child.
Jace is so amazing with taking care of my needs, and I feel really guilty that I can't do that for him.
She's the breadwinner. They have almost 4 kids. He's not working. This is a really good example of what I mean by the standards in the Mormon culture. With husbands and wives, it feels like the husband's needs take priority over the wives' needs. And I don't feel like these husbands know how to support their wives. And in this case, from what I understand, Michaela is no longer a part of the Mormon culture, but it seems like the struggle continues even when they've left the church, because that's what they know. That's what they've been taught. And my knee-jerk reaction to this is, she's pregnant. Leave her alone. In the next scene, we finally see Whitney. I almost did not recognize her with those glasses on.
Drama begins now.
And yay, I can finally change this picture I've been using of her.
Talk to Miranda, but all of the other women, it's probably been about 2 months, I want to say.
So the producers ask what happened with her contract negotiations. She does deny the Oscars tickets.
No.
A role on a scripted show?
That I did ask for. Yeah.
We have no idea what that show is yet.
I just found out if I came back to film, then I can audition for Dancing with the Stars.
That makes sense. We then see Momtok attend a hydro drug influencer event. The film crew did not attend this event.
As soon as we see Demi is there, we all get out our phones.
Whitney is not with her. Demi approaches Layla and apologizes for making a scene at the last event.
I'm scared. They're gonna kill me.
Layla says that she's taking Jesse's side, and Demi straight up calls her a dumbass for doing so.
How could you do that to her? I found out that my friend, the guy, didn't have sex with him. She did. No.
Taylor ends up going over there and taking Layla away. And that makes things get nasty. Demi mimics Jesse, so Jesse flips her off. And Demi does this classy motion and says, "How was fucking Marciano twice?" Wow.
You know nothing.
This is at an event that they paid for them to be at. Taylor is the one that holds Jessie back and calms her down. You gotta wonder what Hydrojug was thinking about this fight happening at their event. They were either oh sweet, the Mormon wives almost started hitting each other with our jugs. Or they were thinking, well, not inviting these women to events anymore. The Momtok piece is over. Because now they know that they will also see Whitney at Miranda's birthday party. And in the next scene, everyone is dressed up as Miranda, including the guys. There is no Chase, but Layla is dating his brother, and she has dated Chase, and Chase is Miranda's ex-husband.
This group is a bit incestuous.
So Miranda arrives. Michaela announces during this party that she's going to try a new therapy to Jace.
She might be able to say, love you, as she's walking out the door, but she can't actually sit down and tell me how she feels about me.
It was hard for me to take this conversation seriously because they both kind of look like Daenerys Targaryen. And then Whitney appears. Jen says that like the other women, she feels like Whitney is only there for them when she needs something, and then disappears. But what I found really weird about this is I don't think that Jen and Whitney actually have beef here. I feel like they both just came back for Dancing with the Stars because this argument they have didn't feel real to me. But for the sake of the show, let's, I guess, pretend that it's real.
If you were really there for me and you weren't actually using me to get back into Momtok, why would you then become friends with Demi?
So Whitney has definitely reappeared this time for Dancing with the Stars and has said that she has no interest in repairing friendships.
Me and Demi got close after you ghosted me. That's when we got close.
After I ghosted you?
And I still don't really get that. Like, I get being in Momtok for business. That makes sense. But why is the only relationship she supposedly wants with Demi? That woman literally told the world that she made the RSV video for clout and caused the darkest time in Whitney's life.
But after that, it just put me in a really dark place.
So 2 days before the LA press tour, the Momtok girls get together to talk about Whitney and Demi. They all know that Whitney wants Dancing with the Stars, but they want to make it clear that Demi and Whitney are not welcome back into Momtok, no matter what. And they decide to have Taylor lead the group. Be the strong arm against Whitney and Demi.
Hear ye, hear ye.
All hail Taylor.
Shut up.
I mean, I already thought she was the leader, but now it's official, I guess. So in the next scene, Michaela starts therapy. I understand why they're including this in the show. It's really the most Mormon-related issue, even though Michaela's not Mormon anymore. She's still trapped in that culture of having kids extremely young and having these expectations thrown at her, especially with sex. And her husband. I still can't get over that her husband has decided he's not getting enough from his pregnant breadwinner wife. And they try to like frame it like he wants more intimacy from her in general. She's the one doing all this therapy. I don't see him doing anything. If there's something he's not getting, maybe he needs some therapy too. I don't know. I'm going to keep saying it. Leave Michaela alone. So the day before the press tour, Momtok meets up with Whitney to try to figure out her intentions.
She's only here for business opportunities. I at least want her to admit that.
And that girl walks in with a, I feel like Britney from 2007 shirt on. Girl, shaving your head is a lot different than you just changing your hair and address. I say this too as I'm wearing this headband still on my head. So this is Whitney's confrontation. It's apparently also sponsored by Taco Bell. It's so awkward. Everyone's just glaring at her.
We're not gonna have people coming and going. Why are you here today? What do you want?
So Whitney says that the vote that they had last season, you know, to get her back into Momtok, didn't feel very sincere.
This is strictly business.
They all question her friendship with Demi, and Taylor doesn't understand why Whitney chose Demi over her in particular.
It was disgusting. Like sticking up for you when you were down.
Whitney cries, talking about how her relationships in the group have broken down, more or less. And everyone just looks bored, and she plans to still make her own TikToks.
I'm gonna start my own Momtok, and hopefully,
good hell. While everyone is laughing, Whitney just gets up and leaves, and that's the end of episode 5. Okay, I'm gonna take this headband off for a second. Let's get serious. I could see how people are mad that Whitney is just back for business. They keep talking about this like sisterhood on the show, and Momtok is about this, Momtok's about that. I don't agree with that. I don't think any of these women would be friends if they weren't forced to be because they're in Momtok. So as long as Whitney is not doing anything crazy nasty like Demi, why is it a big deal if she's technically in Momtok but just for business? I don't see a problem with that. She was villainized on an entire season. She's filmed 2 seasons. I don't see a problem with her trying out for Dancing with the Stars. Maybe people disagree. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to watch episode 6 and then come back.
2 hours later.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, let me put my headband back on. Episode 6 is the beginning of the LA press tour.
Whitney and me are here.
While at a very bougie dinner, Layla shows an Instagram post from Marciano.
And he said uninvited to the function because a 30-year-old Mormon wife scared to tell her husband the truth.
There's only one 30-year-old, and it's Demi. Later, they see the response post from Demi.
Also, he got uninvited because he's a sexual predator.
I've been trying to avoid spoilers for so long, and I've done so. This shocked me. Is Marciano a creep? Yeah, I get that vibe. But a predator? That's a big thing to say. And it surprises Jesse and Layla too. They say that the narrative switched at one point, and Demi started to say that she was not a victim and flirting the whole time. And they have this on tape confirming this too.
Like, I told you that I was flirty and like having fun. I let Marciano kiss me on the cheek in Truth or Dare.
And this is when Demi makes her very first appearance filming. And I can finally change this picture from the old one to the new one. Yay! In her first official scene back, she's getting glam done where Macy is also getting glam done. And then Whitney comes in done with her glam. Even more awkward. So this is when Demi just starts talking with Macy right next to her.
You and Jesse formed an alliance to try to spin things and make it look better for you.
She says that Momtok is like victim blaming her and brings up Macy's past with abuse, which, ooh.
We did a lie detector test and they just kissed. It's like, I obviously am gonna believe Jesse because she said that never happened.
This is now Demi's word against Jesse's, and Momtok is still on Jesse's side. But Demi's accusations make Macy think that Jesse and Demi need to just sit down and talk. Whitney doesn't engage in any of this drama though. She doesn't say anything, she doesn't say her opinion, she's very, very quiet, which I thought was interesting. She seems very focused on her priority, because the next scene is the Dancing with the Stars interviews, which has kind of hurt my brain because this means that we're still not to the reunion yet. They find out who got Dancing with the Stars at the reunion. So Jen, Whitney, and Layla have the most interest in this. Now watching though and hearing that Layla has dance experience, I'm surprised that they chose Jen over Layla because Jen is postpartum. Isn't that strange? Why not pick Layla and maybe Jen could do a different season? That actually really surprised me. Did that surprise you? In the next scene, Momtok runs into Hannah, who is actually Marciano's ex. She now knows, because it was all online, about Demi's accusation. Demi called this guy a predator online. Hannah has doubts about this, and no one is easy to just believe Demi. Next, Momtok attends the Hulu Get Real event with Whitney and Demi. We see Demi and Whitney talk to Hannah, Marciano's ex.
He told me all these things towards me. I never once reciprocated.
Jessie ends up telling Demi on her way out that they should talk, and Demi agrees. But lastly, Hannah addresses Demi's accusations.
Let's retract the sexual predator things from Marciano. No.
And you can tell that Hannah is annoyed by this. No one seems to just instantly believe what Demi is saying, and we also don't know details yet. But Demi is doubling down and is disappointed that this is the reaction she's getting. No one's on her side but Whitney. But even so, Whitney says nothing about this. She's so quiet. Later, everyone realizes that the Stagecoach brand deal that they're doing includes Whitney, and they will all have to be staying in a house together. So Taylor decides that she needs to go talk to Whitney.
Hello.
What's up, bitch?
Taylor ends up starting the conversation off by apologizing that at their last meetup, she might have felt attacked.
I do want to say that I am sorry that we came all at once.
And they basically agree to just have a business mindset. Work as co-workers. And they make it sound like they have no choice but to play nice and have Momtok include Whitney for now while they're doing press. The whole business mindset, like, I don't think that's a big deal at all. That's what Momtok is. It's a business. I think Jen and Whitney both are only here for Dancing with the Stars. Jen too is not meshing really back into the group. She's made up with Jesse at this point, but I just don't get the vibe that she's really back into the sisterhood, because why would she want to be? These women bullied her. So now we jump into Jesse and Demi meeting up and talking.
The reason I ever brought up you having sex with Marciano was because he told me multiple times that that's what happened.
It didn't happen.
Jesse explains how the lie detector confirmed that they did not sleep together, which did it. But Demi, doesn't really believe her still.
Did he kiss you on the cheek goodbye that day?
Nope.
Wait,
he kissed me on Truth or Dare.
That's it.
There was 2 ass grabs.
Jesse asks why, if that happened, she continued to talk to Marciano for months, and says that Demi's young daughter was also talking to him too, which is weird. Jesse also has texts with Marciano sent between him and Demi, showing how flirty she's been with him.
Your name in my phone is now going to be Marciano, baby, because that's what calls you.
Demi's explanation is that she was nice to keep Marciano from doing what he's doing now, spinning things to try to get clout. And she's mad that Jesse hooked up with him after she said that he was flirty with her, made her uncomfortable.
She's told me and the girls so many times that she's not a victim. I did not go out and intentionally find someone who would to me and decided to kiss him, and that's how she's trying to make it seem right now.
Demi's definitely trying to spin this back, because anytime she's questioned about how she handled talking to Marciano in the text, even though there are some very flirty texts, she just calls it victim shaming. Every time there's a question, she's being victim shamed.
If he grabbed you without you asking, that's obviously inappropriate and not something that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's weird because she says that he touched her unwanted, but then sent pictures of her daughter to him. Like, what? It just makes no sense to me. But on the other side, I don't want to think that she's making this up. I really don't. Like, I want to believe her, because if she is making this up, dragging this guy online, saying this stuff, that is really messed up. And Jessie doesn't know what to do next either.
Because Demi's saying there's no perfect way to handle it, and that is completely valid and so true. So I just feel like I can't fight that right now.
They do end the conversation not yelling or making this gesture. So that's a win, I guess. And that's the end of episode 6. Whew. I don't know what to think of Demi's situation at all at this point. I'm hoping future episodes give more clarity, because I think like how this was filmed, there was no sit down with the producers where Demi like explained what happened with Marciano and someone sat there and listened to her story. If Hulu knew about this, why did they let him film the lie detector scenes? I'm trying so hard to avoid spoilers at this point, but it does not seem like Hulu has just dropped this guy after Demi made this accusation. Production is not treating this like Demi is a victim at all, and her actions of him talking to her daughter afterwards are just strange. Hopefully there's more clarity on future episodes. But one thing's for sure is even though Whitney is saying that she's friends with Demi and she's back, she is definitely not engaging in a lot of this drama, like really at all. It seems like she's strictly here to do the Dancing with the Stars interview, and that's it, at least for now. At this point, I could see why some people are upset. She literally came back on the show for business, for Dancing with the Stars. I don't have a problem with that. I actually think it's cool that she is able to do that and kind of break the mold of some of these Mormon women not being able to do a lot of what they want, or being really hindered by getting married young, having kids young. So now the question is, did the Secret Life of Mormon Wives show influence voting for Dancing with the Stars? People having their opinions about her, seeing her on the show, and then her getting eliminated. I could see how that influenced some of that. But at the same time, Dancing with the Stars seems to definitely be a popularity contest, and I don't know if she would have won, period, but I did expect her to get to the finals. I could see how the Mormon Wife show made people not vote for her as much. Let me know what you think. Next will be episodes 7 and 8. And that will be next week. Make sure to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. And also, this is my QR code to my Snapchat. Make sure to follow my public profile. I will be posting often on there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!